All right, we're here for another episode of Make It Happen and home inspection defects, home inspection reports. Please like, subscribe, hit that notifications button. We really appreciate any comments you can make, and share the podcast with your friends. We'd like to add more subscribers each and every day. So today we have a special guest, Rosanna Morrison. She has quite the credentials. She's a USC grad in molecular biology, has a undergrad and master's. She's worked over 15 years in clinical trials, doing research and development for new drugs. And in the last 10, 15 years, she's worked at Morrison Plus Property Inspections as an owner, doing inspections and running the office. And she is our resident biologist for mold testing and inspections. So we're happy to have you here today, Rosanna. You look great, as always. Love the new hairstyle.
Thank you for having me.
Yes,
it's my pleasure.
Awesome. So let's. Yeah, well, yeah, she is my wife. Thanks for reminding me that. I must have forgot. So Rosanna is my wife. For those of you that don't know, we are married, happily married for 15 plus years, and hopefully another 15 here coming up. So let's just jump right into the mold testing and laboratory results and all of that. That's a big part of home inspections. A lot of people want to know if they have toxic molds or if they have safe environments in their home and they're breathing. Some people may have asthma or other medical conditions, and they're very concerned. They've heard a lot of scary things on the media or through friends and family, and it's a big deal. And so we pulled up a report here before the show, and Rosanna has graciously shared some others with us, and we're going to talk about those. So we got a picture up here of a report that was done. I can't remember what city this is. These are all in California. Tell us about this photo a little bit, Rosanna.
Okay, this is a hallway, and there was a leak. The buyer, the owner, opened the wall up and wanting to fix the pipe inside. But holy moly, when they opened it up, they saw black spots,
Okay.
just a few. And then by the time they call us out to do the testing and look at it and examine it, it grew. It grew really fast.
Okay,
And
so this is a moist condition. So for mold to continue to expand and grow, it's got to be wet, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Damp.
Damp.
And it depends on what medium it's growing on and your system in the house, humidity in the house, and what it has in the house. And so it depends on that. And then the growth of the mold either grows rapidly or it just sits there for sometime for weeks and weeks. And then finally when you discover it, and it's like, okay, you got to get it tested or else, right? And so this specific one, it happens to be toxic.
Okay.
And it's caused, your layman term is black mold, and your scientific term is Stachybotrys.
Stachybotrys.
Yes. And it's in this specific home, the hallway, it's high. It has it's dense and it's very toxic. And so we took a piece of it and we sent it to the lab and we tested it. And then so it's very toxic. And so we recommended remediation immediately.
So it's not a healthy living environment anymore because of this, right?
Correct. Correct.
So what does it mean, remediation, on this? So what do you have to say about that? I know that there's a lot of realtors or a lot of clients that think that they can just do an easy fix on it.
Mm-hmm.
But to remediate, I mean, I had Blake Sturkle on the previous podcast, and we were going over some of the CDC things, and the CDC on all their paperwork says you got to cut it out and replace whatever the building material is. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that to a certain extent, and it depends on the area and where it is, and sometimes you have to take out the whole wall or take out the whole, replace the whole area, right?
So it's like so in this case, they opened up the wall. It's in the substrate, so you can't close that back up now.
No, no. You literally have to replace it, and then you have to get a hygienist in to verify to make sure that there's no more mold.
And that they did the repairs correctly.
Correct. And then you make sure that there's no more pipe leaks and stuff like that. And then before you close it up. But before you close it up, make sure you have correct material inside as well too, because toxic mold, and this specific mold loves
Gypsum board,
sheetrock. Sorry, and sheetrock, and you have to use the quality material to to replace it.
Well, and they sell sheetrock or gypsum board that has like a moisture resistant paper on it.
Correct, and yes, and so you have to know good contractor that does good work, and so we know a couple.
Not just your handyman to fix this.
Correct.
Right, okay.
You want the cheap way. If something else happened, then you have to replace it again. And so I don't recommend to do the cheap way.
So I noticed in this report, you came back with your lab analysis is Stachybotrys was level high.
Correct.
And then Aspergillus also came back as high.
Correct.
And that was pretty much what this report came back as. And then we put this picture in the report of the inspector taking a swab.
Yes.
So let's move on to another report.
Okay.
Let's go to I believe you have another one here from Pasadena.
Yes.
This one, the photo doesn't really show dark mold, but you can see it's kind of a discoloration, almost just looks dirty.
Correct.
And it's blotchy.
Yes.
Talk to us about what's going on here. I can tell you the location for those of you that don't know what you're looking at. This looks like it might be in a garage or it's not a platform there where a water heater was. Is that correct, Rosa?
Yes, it was where the water heater was, and so the water heater was at the end of its life, and they wanted to replace it. When they pull it out, and then holy moly again, there's this black spot and stuff like that. And so once again, it didn't grow that much, and then by the time we got out, it grew some more. And so, again, it's the surface where it is that needs to be replaced. Well, we tested it. So because from the look of it we thought was just, you clean it up and stuff like that. But
yeah, it looks like it's something you can just get some soap and water and clean it right off, but no.
Correct, because we've seen it in other homes too that's like that, and we tested it and then nothing. But in this specific home, this specific case, it was medium toxic.
So it came back as medium from the lab results.
Correct, and we need to remediate right away as well. And so this is an easy fix because it's not in the house and it's out in the garage where the water heater was. And so they remediated very minimal. And so it's not so expensive for.
So they just cut out the sheetrock or the gypsum board and just replaced it with new stuff.
Correct.
And the garage is, I suspect, on this property was probably already ventilated, so it's getting outside air. Correct. Which means that it's not in a substrate, so it's probably not going to grow as fast or be as toxic, or potentially could be, but it's a better. It's not as favorable conditions for this stuff to grow and be. I guess metastasize is the right word?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next one. All right. So this one, this photo from this report.
It looks scary, isn't it?
It's pretty dark.
I wouldn't even, I asked Isaias, put your mask on, put your filter on, because it looks really scary. And so we took a swab of it and then we sent it to the lab. And guess what? It was your typical mold.
So it is mold.
Yes, it is mold, but it's not toxic. It's decaying food. By the way, this is under the sink. So this is so typical as well, too. So it has like decaying food and aspergillus and leftover. And then they must have had like soap dish down there and stuff like that, and then clean it up. And so, and then it's pretty moist down there. And
Okay.
so that grew. And as you can see, and then scroll up.
Okay.
I mean, down. I'm sorry. From
Where do you want me to
the
show?
moist, the picture of thermal
Okay.
there, because it was so gross. That's why we put the thermal on, and to see if there's extra moisture in that specific area.
Oh, in the room.
Yes, in
I
the
see.
room, and
Okay.
see what's going on and stuff like that. And
It's a lot of stains all over the place in this house.
correct. And so we're like, oh, what's going on? So basically, it's a lot of food particle. It's a lot of decaying food that was
Okay.
left out, and then were flying all over the place. And so we
this-
just want to make sure that there's no extra moisture somewhere, dampness that possibly can ruin the structure of the wall or
So the
other
areas,
area.
so one of the things as a home inspector, what we look for is we're underneath all the sinks. That's where all the tailpipes are. That's where the water supply lines come
Right,
through.
right.
So a lot of water moving in the cabinets under the sinks through the pipes. And of course, we get leaks. Sometimes the grout at the counter or at the sink deteriorates. And so whether it's the pipes or whether it's the cabinetry, we as soon as, or even if it's cleaning bottles, it can be bottles that's put under there that leak. Well, once moisture's in that cabinet, it's nowhere for it to get out.
Right.
And that causes these conditions.
Correct.
And so, we know to go in there and look, and we always look at that back wall and we see this kind of a thing. And sometimes if it's old and it's been down there and really wet for a long time, it does get to be toxic, right?
Sometime. We maybe 2 out of 10 inspection testing that we've done that could be toxic.
It
Most
gets to
of
that
the time
level.
it's just decaying, mildew, and it's just maintenance.
Okay.
And just make sure that you don't there's no leak and stuff like that. And then if there's leak and stuff, you need to fix it right away. Otherwise, mold can grow easily. And so
what causes, I mean, can you tell us what causes it to basically metastasize into being toxic? Is it because it's very dirty? Or, I mean, what
No, there's
I don't
spores.
want you to get too technical for our viewers, but I mean, what's going on there? I mean, how, because I know the reason I'm asking, let me kind of just set this up. The reason I'm asking is a lot of times you advise our clients to really clean the home, right?
Maintain it.
Clean it, maintain it. Don't just get dirty and wet and moisture. I mean, talk to me about those kinds of conditions and what it means.
There's all kinds of moving parts when it comes to toxic mold. It can be the ventilation in the
Okay.
area, the humidity in the room, in
So
the
that's a
area,
big deal,
like closet, cabinets.
So Rosanna, that's a big deal because in today's day and age, 2024, they want us to seal up our homes.
Yes. I've noticed most of the toxic.
Energy efficiency.
Correct. We find that there's more toxic mold in
Sealed houses.
today's properties than older one.
craftsmen with
Yes,
windows
yes.
that don't seal real well. There's more air going through the house.
Correct.
Okay.
And so that's the trick. When you are in the shower, you turn on the ventilation. When you're at home, open your windows and stuff like that. Let some air in at least half an hour. I recommend daily, and so that will help with current
Keeping
smart,
things dried out.
current smart home, right? And but if you have older home, you won't run into this problem as much.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, that's really good to know. Let's go to this last one we have here. How are we doing on time over there, Mackenzie? Okay, good. All right, so this last report that you brought for us, Rosanna, it's a bunch of air samples, right?
Yes,
No
yes.
swabs.
Yes.
So this is a different kind of testing, right?
Correct.
And you were telling me that most of our orders, as far as people buying homes wanting to have testing done, lately has been air samples.
Correct. The reason being is that they don't have specific illness. They just want to make sure that the house is somewhat clean because since COVID and then what have you, people tend to be scared of their health and they want to make sure that the house is super clean. A lot of home lately has been flipped before it gets sold. But regardless, people like to be sure because they have a little bit of allergy and they want to make sure that the house is typically clean. So they just order air. And so we can see what's particles, what circling around in the air.
What
And
people are
so-
breathing, right?
Correct. And that's all they want to know.
And they do. I mean, every home has a certain level of particulates and things like that we're
Yes,
breathing.
absolutely. Because, there's
Dust.
decaying food and dust, ventilation, and what have you.
We all have trash
Dust,
cans,
yes.
right?
And dust in the air condition and stuff like that.
So, talk to me about some things. If you're concerned about wanting to live in a healthy environment, maybe you're someone that has bad allergies or has children with asthma, or I know you're not a doctor, but you are in the home inspection business, and these are inanimate objects. And there are things that I know we can do is people that reside and live inside structures to have a more healthier living environment. Can you talk about a few of the just a few tips that you can do? Is like, say you're changing the flooring. I mean, or what are some of the building materials your home might have that you might be considering changing out?
Making sure that your filters change. It's
Okay.
recommended every 6 months, but if you have allergy and stuff, please do it every 3 months.
Okay.
Because when you're in new building and all that, it's very tightly ventilated and very tight. It's not
And
always.
if you have pets and dogs and
Yes,
cats, do it maybe every
exactly.
other month, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And then so I do recommend changing filter out as often as you can.
Okay.
And just watch them. If I have it my way, I would change monthly.
Okay.
If you have pets,
Maybe
right?
maybe even buy like install a thicker kind of air filter, like a media filter that's pleated.
Correct.
Those are much better filters, right?
Right.
How about flooring and things like that? Talk to us. What kind of flooring?
Well, flooring you should.
I think we had a partner that just changed his flooring in his house for health purposes.
Yes. But he had it for like 30 years. And so it's like it
Well-
was ready to go.
Well,
And
he's
so that's
getting
why
older.
He's
He's getting older,
Yes.
and he's more concerned about health now. And so, what? Talk to us about what was going on there. What happened, and why? What was his choice?
Well, his wife had COVID. And so it was something that he was, and then she didn't have any symptom. She was test positive, but she didn't have any symptom. But when she came back from vacation, she coughed a lot.
Okay.
And so it was like a
Respiratory?
concern. Yes, respiratory. She went to the doctor and all that stuff. I don't know if she wants me to talk about this.
Well, no, I don't want to. No, just talk to me about what they did with the flooring in their home for a more healthier living environment.
Well, they changed all the flooring, and
From
they
what
changed
to what?
From I don't know all the material.
So
But
it wasn't carpet, right?
No. Oh, you know what? They did have a lot of carpet. So
Okay.
from carpet, they took all the carpet out, and so they put flooring, wood flooring,
Wood
in.
laminate, engineered.
Yes.
Okay.
And so if you have allergy, that's also another tip. You remove all the floor, all the carpets.
So no
and then
carpet.
No carpet.
You
I'm
do not
sorry.
recommend carpet.
No, I'm sorry. All the people who loves carpet, just get rugs. And so you can vacuum it, you can wash it and all that stuff. But I recommend that. Just
So
you
why carpet? What's wrong with carpet?
because carpet is a really good medium for mold to grow. Even if you vacuum it, even if you wash it, you let it dry, and hence, what do we do when you let it dry? You walk away and you close the door, right? Close all the window, and then there you go. You have a room with damp.
You spill something on the carpet, it's not
Exactly.
ventilated, mold can grow right there.
Correct.
Oh,
And
especially
so
if
there
the
you
room
go.
is dirty, right?
Correct. And then you walk on it and you don't pay attention to it. And
Okay.
then, Lord and behold, in the little corner under the bed, something grow and then you didn't know. So you don't,
Okay.
you don't stick your head down there and say, oh, are you growing down there? Where are you growing down there? And so, yeah, things like that. And you just have to pay attention to it.
Okay. I won't press you anymore on building materials then. Well, we really appreciate you coming on. This is
Thank you.
very interesting material, the topic of the different kinds of mold. I know we primarily spoke about Stachybotrys. That's the one that everybody is always concerned about. And
Right.
maybe we'll have you back on to speak about some other different types of molds and what they do. And you can give us your explanations on what you think is okay and not okay and what to look for when it comes to having tests done. So appreciate you today, and
Thank you.
look forward to the next one. Please like, subscribe, hit the notifications button. Today, want to just make sure we plug AccuWriter. We are being sponsored by AccuWriter Home Inspection Software. So if you want to learn more about that and you're a home inspector, please go to AccuWriterPro.com. I'll say that one more time, AccuWriterPro.com.